Catus Maximus here, this time with Vevor's 100-foot long pipe extended length inspection camera. This is a promotional product. I do appreciate them sending it to me, but I'm not going to recommend this. It's obviously that these are older units, several years old, and for the advantages, what I really got it for is because it's an inspection camera that has this kind of heavy-duty stainless steel head on it, and it has a rigid fiberglass sheathing or line. So it's designed to push way down drains to see what's really clogging them up. Deep inspections and far away areas where you need the more rigid line in order to actually push the head through. Unfortunately, it just has an old school screen. You can just see how the detail's great this way, and it's absolutely horrid this way. It's just way old school, and it's obvious. It's supposed to have an 8-hour battery life, and the battery, I tested this out, dies in about an hour. So it's obvious that these are much older units. It's not high definition, it's DVD quality, 480p, which is also pretty darn disappointing. That being said, it still is generally useful, but like this screen here, you're going to have to take and eject it and pop it out and set it up like this so you can actually get a halfway decent viewing angle on it. Otherwise, the whole image just totally disappears. I mean, it's kind of designed to be up in the case where you have these little flaps to provide a sun shield for it, but it doesn't matter because you're looking down at it and you can't see it anyway. So it's just a horrid disappointment in that department. Comes with the 16 gig SD card, but it's a classic SD card, not a micro SD card. So it's kind of disappointing. I like the charger because it has a little light on it that goes from red to green. I was wondering why the battery charged up so quickly, and it's because this thing's probably 5 years old, and the battery is just degraded. It has this thing where you can bolt this onto the head, which has these rollers to slide down or to roll it down larger pieces of pipe. It also has this little accessory, which is just a smaller thing, which has ribs, just to make it go easier. What I find hilarious is they include a little screwdriver because you have to unscrew these things and then clamp them to the head. As we can see, the screws are Phillips, and they sent a flathead, which works in the Phillips, but still, it's just a hilarious oversight, to tell you the truth. I like the idea of it. I like that it has a spool. The biggest problem people have had is, since this is a rotating spool, there's a special contact system, sliding contact system, and sometimes that gives people trouble, and you have to open this up and clean and work on that little rotating contact system. It has lights, but this is also evidence of how old it is. These seem kind of bright in this camera, but they're actually, unfortunately, the camera is auto adjusting. The LED lights are not that bright. It has 12 LEDs, and I don't think you can see in the camera, maybe in the left-hand side right near that gap, there's 12 little LEDs. 3 of them are a different color temperature than the rest, which is a, disappointing oversight. I'm just not real satisfied with this thing at all. The horrible screen makes it kind of more difficult to use, and the fact that the battery already needs to be replaced, just real disappointing. So anyway, we have their instruction manual here, which has like microfilm printing. Whoop. What I'm trying to show here, come on. It's always hard to figure out what direction. There's just no way this is going to read that. Just showing how low the resolution truly is. If we get in this text, it's okay, but you can, let me do it this way. It's just pretty blurry. Not great, and that's what's disappointing. Poor quality screen with old school low resolution just is a disappointment, and the fact that the screen is all you're always looking at it from this direction, and it's basically impossible to see, so you always have to pull out of the case, making the whole hood system irrelevant. And to show you what I'm talking about, a while ago Vevor sent me their little, whatever this is, 20-foot endoscope or inspection camera, but it's a much newer generation. It uses micro SD cards, it's true high definition, and I wanted to show you the difference here. Let's get next to that text. Come on. Come on, camera. Oh, I'm upside down. Here we go. So here's this new one. As you can see, this is that same micro printing that was just unreadable in the old one. This one, you can see how readable it is, proving that it's this little head and the screen are truly high definition. As we can look at this super tiny text here, get a little bit of a different angle, and we can actually read it. So, and that was like one of the big disappointments. Another thing is this is using a IPS or in-plane switching LCD display. That means when you change the angles, it doesn't have like that loss of brightness and color that traditional LCD screens. You can see I can turn this any direction and we still get just a great picture. Not to mention this newer Vevor actually has these cameras on both sides of the head, so you can look both out the front or the side. And for this pipeline camera, for the 100-foot, they want $280 for it on Amazon. No way. It's just obviously older. It should have cameras sticking out the side. It should be full high definition. It should have IPS display that you can actually see. And the worst part about all this is since this is several years old, the lithium-ion battery has just been sitting there. When I got this thing, it was completely dead. And you know it takes, what, a year at least for that to happen on a lithium-ion battery on a product. So it's just been sitting around for so long that it has, not only is the battery aged, it's been sitting in a discharged state, which has just destroyed the battery. So I appreciate all the items Vevor sent me, but this is one that I would recommend people not getting and finding something else when if you actually need a rigid stem, extra long reach inspection camera. I mean, I suppose this will work in a pinch, but it's just a disappointment for the price. Anyway, see you next time.